Hello everybody and welcome back to another Robocraft update. And today they've released, and yesterday they released information about the overclockers. Which is something that I was kind of interested in because I wanted to see more about how it works and how you gain levels and stuff via overclocking. And they've basically released all the information you kind of need to know, so I'm going to cover it. And hopefully you guys can understand it. You can also click the link in the description to check out their blog post. So, overclockers, you can see on the screen what they look like. It's a nice looking bar and interface. So the 60% bar there you can see is, I believe, your progress to your next overclocking level. And there is up to 13 levels. So you start each new battle at level 1. So if you get to level 13 in one battle, you won't start at level 13 in the next battle. It doesn't work like that. You'll keep, when you respawn in your match, you'll keep your overclocker. But it doesn't change from battle to battle, which makes obvious sense. So yeah. You start at level 1 and you get all the way up to level 13, okay? And you get XP or overclock cycles for, I think clock cycles is the name they're just giving for like XP points. Kind of XP points. They're not XP points though, because they're only in-game, so, as in battle. So I guess they had to give them a different name, because XP is what you use to like buy cubes and level up your stuff and all that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what the clock cycles are. Because I was a little bit confused about that. What's a clock cycle? So I think it's just like the amount of XP you get towards the next level, kind of thing. I think anyway, I'm not entirely sure. I'm still a bit like iffy on that. So the Overclocker HUD, which is what you can see here, has different elements. So it's got the SCU avatar, the supercomputer avatar, showing which one you've selected. So they're not adding that in the update, right? Or there might be. I can't remember if they're adding supercomputers yet. But that was a thing where you can choose between like the health buff, so you can heal yourself, or the shield one, so you can shield an ally for a certain seconds, or the laser beam attack one. So they had 3 so far, and it says they're going to add in lots more. So that little picture of the avatar there is what like when you have active. The current health of your SCU. Oh, okay, right. So that percentage bar is actually the health of your computer, aka your robot, I'm guessing. Because if this dies, you die. So. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? So that percentage bar is that, okay. So that's what that's for. I got that completely wrong, sorry. And your overclocker level, which is the 7 there, so it goes all the way up to 13. And your clock cycle, so a small number that shows how many clock cycles you just earned. So that's the XP bit there. So say you just shot a load of cubes out of somewhere, you get clock cycles for that, and it boosts your level. So that bar at the bottom is your progress bar to the next level. The bar at the top is your health bar of your supercomputer. That makes a lot of sense. That's cleared up for me now. Now I've reread over that, it makes a lot more sense. So that is what the HUD will be doing, which is kind of cool. So now I'm showing you a graph of different information about how many clock cycles you'll gain for doing different activities. So you can figure out what's the best way to level up in battle to get more power-ups and stuff. So damage per component destroyed is 100 clock cycles, okay? So you'll see how this is relevant to how much like of the bar you'll progress in a minute, because there's a, and let me show you. So say you destroyed 1 cube, that's 100. You need 120,000 to get to level 2. Okay, so I mean robots are generally made up of a lot of cubes, so that makes a lot of sense, right? So 120,000 is to get the first level from 1 to 2. Okay, so if that makes sense. So destroying blocks will gradually get you there if you do like take a lot of damage on stuff. That's pretty good. Damage in protection. And there's a note beneath this as well. So for damage per CPU, if you sever a whole chunk of cubes, aka by taking out a critical cube, and you already clock cycles for all of the cubes that you destroyed. So for example, if there's like a massive bit of a robot hanging off, and you shoot the cube that's holding it on and it all gets destroyed, you get points for every block that was destroyed, which is kind of cool, rather than just the one block you shot at, because then it like promotes tactical shooting and stuff, rather than just trying to spray as many blocks as possible. So that's quite good. Damage in protection, I'm not entirely sure what this means, but maybe that's like, oh, I don't know what, I'm not really sure what that is actually, but that's 100 as well. Damage in defense, now this says, any destruction of an enemy inside your fusion shield, or within close vicinity of the base that is damaged, gives the normal clock damage cycles as well as this extra in protection reward. Okay, this is a key reward if you get stray enemies attempting to rush your base too early. You can prevent the rush and you'll get massive clock boost cycle. So, for example, if you're defending your base, which a lot of people don't really bother doing, you get like way more points. So it's 500 points for damage and defense, plus. So basically, if you destroy one cube for someone who's attacking your base and is up close near your core, you'll get 600 clock cycles instead of 100 clock cycles. So defending your base is actually now because it's a lot more effective. So you may get less robots coming at you than if you're going into the middle of the fray, but you'll get way more points. So it still pays to defend your core and promote tactical play, which I think that's quite cool. You get 100,000 clock cycles for a kill. Okay. 75,000 for an assist. So if you get one kill and then do some damage to cubes as well, basically if you get a kill, you're pretty much guaranteed to get up to your second level, okay, of the boosts, the clock cycles, the clock level even. Then heal per CPU, you get 150 clock cycles for a heal, which is pretty good. And then if you manage to heal an ally to maximum health, you get 75,000. So it promotes like healers, making sure that everyone's on tip-top health. Although there's one small problem I can see with this. Like, for example, if a robot is super heavily damaged, like they may just ignore it, or like is at like half health, they may heal the guy at 90% because they'll get the boost, rather than healing the guy at half health that really needs it. They can turn the tide of the match. That may promote like misplaying, kinda, with that, if that makes sense. So for example, if the Mega Bot's got 90% and it's pretty easy for them to like heal it up to 100% with their teammates, but then some other guy decides getting shot to shit, they might not even bother trying to aim for him because they won't get anywhere near as many points if they just keep getting this guy to 100% over and over again. And I think this may be one of the things that changes, like, because I think that might have a bit of a problem. That's just my opinion. It might work really well. We'll have to find out when it comes out. But that's just what I'm thinking. It just seems like it could be abused really easily. Like, so what someone could do is like could just take little bits of damage, back up, let him heal him 100%, move in, back up, and you can just get shitloads of XP like that, like super quickly, like ridiculously fast for healers. So you could get like a super OP healer that ends up being like a mega fucking attack robot out of nowhere because it's got like a million levels. But anyway, that's just what I'm thinking. If you destroy a Protonium, you get 1,000 clock cycles per crystal you destroy, but these have got quite a lot of health, if you know. If you scout, scout or spot, you get 5,000 each. So scout is where your radar picks up an enemy, and if you spot somebody by using Q, then you get 5,000 as well. So that's pretty decent. And fusion towers, passive per tower owned per second. I think that was updated because I don't think that's the truth. So they said per second. Let's just see. I think it's actually. So what did they say? It's 250. And they said here 2 clock cycles per tower. Oh no, they've changed it. They've updated it. Okay, so right, yeah. So when there are going to be fusion towers, or they will eventually. So if you own a fusion tower, everyone on your team every second will gain 250 clock cycles. So that it's like a passive background leveling up. If you own more towers, you'll gain levels faster and faster and faster. If that makes sense. Now there's added something called an overclocker differentiators. So there are 2 mechanics that multiply up or down the amount of clock cycles you earn from combat activity. So that's the base rate. So say these stats here, if everybody's level 1, everybody will get this amount of stats for doing an activity, okay? But if there's a difference between levels, things start to change to sort of balance it out a bit, which is kind of cool. So if your opponent's overclocker level is higher than yours, you will earn more clock cycles for damaging and killing them and spotting him, blah blah blah, and vice versa. So if he's a higher level than you and you manage to take him down anyway, you'll get more XP for taking him down because he's tougher than you. Make sense? If your ally's overclock level is lower than yours, you will earn more clock cycles for healing him. So this is quite good. So it promotes healing people who are slightly weaker than you, so help boost them up and stuff, and help them get more points as well. They can't get points if they're dead. And then the CPU differentiator. So if your opponent robot's CPU, that's his like complete size of all the blocks put together, when at max health is higher than yours, you will earn more clock cycles for damage, killing, spotting him. So this means like you can have a smaller robot, and you manage to take down a bigger robot than you, you'll get a bonus to your points because he's bigger and tougher than you. So it might mean you have to think more tactically about your design and not make it as ridiculously huge as possible, like mine. So yeah, that's a thing that might be worth considering. And if your allies' robot CPU at max health is higher than yours, you'll earn less clock cycles for healing him and vice versa. So this promotes you going to heal the little guys rather than everyone healing the Megabot. So maybe it is balanced out of like the 75,000 thing, I don't know, we'll see. And then here's the little graph of the clock cycle requirements. So how much XP you need in total to get to maximum level 13 is 3,078,021 clock cycles. That's quite a lot. You know, so basically you need like 30 odd kills. Probably less than that once you've got all the taken into the block damage into account. So like, if you want to get to level 13, you've got to get like 25 kills, say, which is a lot. Like in a match of Robocraft, the most you'll ever see is like 4 or 5. You know, so 25 will get you max level. Plus, there's all kinds of other bonus stuff. So yeah, this is the graph. Take those values as you will; they'll change as time goes on, depending on if it's too easy to get to that level or too hard. Then they'll adjust the figures. But that's that. So that's the basics of it, about how they're actually working. And then today they announced how much they'll boost stuff. So and how much they'll affect your actual robot, because it's all well and good getting these levels, but if the levels don't do anything, kind of what's the point? So this is what the levels will actually do to you. So this is how much you'll be boosted by if you get to the maximum level 13, and obviously every level below 13 it'll be slightly lower than this. So here's a graph table thing. So component name and the values if it's been maxed out. So your wheels, if you're level 13, will work at 180% speed, so you'll almost be twice as fast. Caterpillar tracks will be almost twice as fast as well. Hover blades will be 160% fast. Walker legs, which is interesting, will be able to jump 280% higher. So they'll be able to jump nearly 3 times higher than normal, which is really awesome. And they'll be able to carry, max carrying mass goes up to twice as much. So if you're kind of a slow walker at first, the carrying mass of the legs will increase, so you'll be able to move faster, basically. It's basically a way of saying move quicker, or yeah, because they'll have more power to, you know, get you up cliff faces and stuff. So that's quite cool. There's a note here. So hovers will be strong early game due to their speed. Wheels and tanks will catch up late game. Okay, so that's why the hover blade doesn't have as much like bonus to it. All right, and we've created jumps in tests that cover nearly half the map when combined with overclockers and thrusters. Good piloting skills, very fun. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. So if you've maxed out a walker and you've got some boosters on it as well, you can jump across half the map with your walker. That's fun. Max carrying and then skis don't overclock. Oh yeah, the legs. The max carrying mass ensures that tanky walkers travel full speed and stick to rocks much better in later games. So you might be kind of really slow and rubbish early, but if you get some kills and stuff, you'll be able to climb up the cliff faces faster, move faster, which is what I thought it meant. Then thrusters go up to 160% speed. Aerofoils, which is the wings, go up to 160%, and you can fly 30% higher than normal, which is kind of, I guess that can be useful. I'm not sure how much though. Rudders speed overclock to 160%, and you can fly 130% higher as well. And rotors max overspeed to 150%. So there are all the basic stats. Obviously, everything's still subject to change depending on if stuff's OP or whatever, but we'll find out. Now, defense. Your armor cubes don't get any stronger, okay, when overclocking, which is kind of weird. I don't know about that, because I already think armor's kind of underpowered. Like, it's way too easy to take shitloads of damage already, I think. But we'll see. I think that they might want to add that so that cubes get stronger, because I don't know. I don't think they're strong enough as is. Electroplates. Regeneration time overclocks to 40% quicker. So I didn't even know electroplates did regenerate. So I think when you take lots of damage, they can heal up by using that. So it'll happen faster at level 13 by 40%. So it means you can survive for longer. Weapons. So the SMG will, at level 13, do 180% damage close, that's almost doubled. And at a distance, 130%. The rail damage will go up to 130%. That's good because the railgun was already incredibly powerful, so you don't want to make it too OP. and the cooldown slows down. So that's fair enough. Like, you can shoot faster, but I don't think the damage should go up that much. So that's quite good. I like that one. And the plasma fire rate overclocks to 60% quicker. That's pretty important, because the one major issue with the plasma cannon is slow fire rate. And blast radius is increased to 120%, so it shoots a wider area. So I like that one as well. And the nano, the heal rate overclocks to 120. The range gets a bit longer, and the damage rate overclocks to 160. So you can actually do more damage. So you might do lots of healing in the early game, and then you'll be able to use it to actually kill some guys later on, which is kind of cool. And the Teslas do not overclock. And also your radars and stuff also overclock. So detection power of the radar gets to 160%. The jammer gets to 160%. The receiver to 160%. And the headlights do not overclock. Funny times, right? Sad face they've added in there. So yeah. Regarding all overclocker values, the percentage of that functional cubes, overclock is currently linear from 100% X from overclocking level 1 to level 13. So yeah, they can change them. And basically, they're saying you start at 100% and you can go up X amount. So 100% is just standard. So it's not actually like 2 and a bit. Yeah, you get what I mean. And passive overclocking here. Yes, they revealed the capturing fusion towers will give the team passive overclocking, which I just talked about. But reported that it was 2 clock cycles per tower per second. It's actually 250 per tower per second, and they've updated that. Okay. And it's every team member that's alive gets that buff. Awesome. So I think that's everything about overclocking, and I think it should be quite cool. It's going to make strategical playing like super important, and like not giving the enemy too many levels and all that kind of thing. I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully all this information has been useful for you, and I'll catch you next video when they announce some more stuff. For now, thanks. Don't forget to like the video, and goodbye.